get right into our discussion. So tell me why it's hard for us to go to God for His plan for our life. What is from your heart? Why you feel?
Because when you put it in someone else's hands, it's not really control. You know you have control. As you walk across the street, you look for a car. You don't know what's about to come out. You don't know where they're going to be. Life's short. And we are blessed. And we try to plan, we try to have control. Forget it. I thought with the ministry ending in November, I thought I was going to be released. I thought that God was in my heart. I was going to do that. I started writing up a floor plan. And something in the Spirit said, why are you writing up a plan? I'm not kidding. Something said it in the Spirit. Why are you writing up a plan? That's not what I want you. But a Christian who was going to move in with me because all the guys were taking off. He was like, yeah, man, I didn't know how to tell you because I was just really in the Spirit. God was insecure. You're so dead. I was, but I changed my mind. You know, sometimes we make good plans, sometimes we make bad plans. But the whole point is, John not to plan so much unless you consult him first. And if it doesn't happen then, it doesn't mean no. Sometimes, the majority of the time, it means wait. Yeah. How often do you hear yes? No. How often do you hear wait? How often are you walking around for 3 days blind going to a Saul Paul stage? You know? I mean, no, we haven't killed anybody, but with our words we have in the past, talking down to somebody, talking with hatred, discrimination, you name it. So, I mean, people talk about, yeah, you know, Saul's back. I know he was just that. He just actually did it. I mean, before we go, talking about how he didn't speak words to them. Speak words of love and kindness. That go on. I've seen that happen in my life. That's just something I'm just really struggling with, but it's such a joyful time too. There's just a lot of, just a question I'm going to just throw out there, just you kind of meditate on it, just think about it, talk about it, whatever. What do you feel like your vision is, your purpose, your mission at here? Think like U.S. Army. We have the war against terror. A lot more to it, just that you know at least that's it. Try to find that. And if at one time you thought it was one thing, but it didn't work out, it's probably because God wants you to wait because you had to marry.
Maybe it's no microwave.
No.
We don't wait on what? This generation is microwave. You know what I'm saying? I remember we ended up with dial-up. We be sitting there AOL chats. And most people ain't used to that fast internet. We've been programmed to be next moment. But God, this whole world operates off a system. It operates off development. It operates off time. And if we don't allow ourselves to develop, then how can we be prepared for what God has for us tomorrow? That's so true. Anybody else on their heart on why? Why it's so hard to go to God and get His plan for our lives?
Because a lot of times, for the most part, a lot of times, like His plans, that may not coincide with ours. We already have our own agenda in place. I said, when you take place, what Jonah was trying to do, Jonah was like, so I ain't trying to go to dinner for son. And you know what I'm saying? I'm going to catch the big dinner. I mean, I'm trying to go chill out at the beach. I'm going to go to the Bahamas, have a daiquiri, chill out, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we know what's going to happen here. This is a lot of times where it's so when Christ didn't die, you could be a veterinarian, you could die, so you could be the world's best basketball player, you could be so that you could die for to be saved. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us are saying we don't get down to that basic strict, like our desire is better. I'm saying that really comes just to self-control, to the wickedness inside. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about being submitted. But so when you really ready to be submitted, a lot of us, like you say, the song said, I surrender all. You know what I'm saying? You say that a lot of times, especially when you say the church, I surrender. But then what if you got like, what about that? Like, oh, smash that. I thought I took that under the carpet. I can't surrender that, Lord. Like, nah, you said all. It's all. You said we just, a lot of you have this issue with submitting. You know what I'm saying? Because we feel like, although we say, God, you have the power, we feel like, God, we have the power because I give it to you. And I was talking to a brother yesterday about, like he said, that the Lord has taken away his tape for smoking, drinking, all this other stuff like a couple of months ago. I'm like, word, he was like, you couldn't finally get it to the Lord. It's almost like trash collecting, you know what I'm saying? You don't come in your kitchen and take it out until you put it out to the curb and then put it in. You know what I'm saying? So that's in retrospect.
Like the sacrifice that it takes to live in a life of submission, or a life that's truly so about God. Like there's the sacrifices of Christ that has to be paid. Jesus gave us a perfect example of a price that had to be paid. So we too have to pay a price to receive the Holy Ghost, to receive His benefits, and be in Christ.
I mean, think of a job. You know, we want the benefits of the job, but what if we don't actually work the requirements of that job? Will we get those benefits? You see what I'm saying? It's like we go after God for His benefits. God, you know, and you endorse this, and you bless me with this, but God's like, I got requirements. When you go to a job, what comes first? When you read the job stuff, they show you the benefits first, they show you the requirements first. Requirements. Then you get to read the benefits. If you can't meet those requirements, you might as well not even think about getting those benefits. And that's within a relationship. See, that's why they call God a person. That's why they don't say God is some force. God is some cloud or something. God's a person. Life and Brandon, let me show for example. Life didn't let you into her life because the way you wanted to get to her heart. Okay. Life didn't let you into her heart the way you wanted to get to her heart. Life had requirements for you to get to her heart. Because she's a person. If she says, you know, but I love this, but you're like, well, I like basketball. You have to like basketball. You have to like this. You have to like what I do. She's like, but that's not me. I'm a unique person. Therefore, there's only one way to get to me, to really get to my heart. That's what brought y'all together. Brandon had to submit his life. He had to submit some type of way to not be under what she requires, but to say, you know what? If I truly like this girl, let me at least do what she likes. Let me at least, because that's what's going to bring us together. And God's like, I'm a person. There's not multiple ways to me. You can't come through me through Muslim. You can't come through me through Islam. You can't come through me through Buddhism. You can't come through me. There's only one way to me because I'm a person. And He did it through Jesus Christ. And there's a requirement for us to say, you know what? That's why Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no man can come into the Father but by me, because He said, hold up, I know my Father. He's a person. And that's how it is with this life, man. We don't want to go to God's plans because He's like, before you get what I want to give you, here's my requirement. Deny yourself. Take up your cross and follow me. Oh, I got to deny myself. And you can believe right there. So, anybody else want to share?
I think that's mainly because of fear. Because they don't, I mean, God, He doesn't think like man thinks, so who knows what He might say to you. Like, He can tell you, I mean, He told numerous amounts of people to do weird things. Like, He told Ezekiel to eat dung, his own dung. He was, oh man, like, you know, I can't eat my own dung. And then he was like, well, how about cow dung? He's like, okay, now you make some cow dung. This is still ain't dung.
He says this.
I mean, who knows if, I mean, we might have to do less, but He could say, quit your job. That might not be His will. Or we might fear being on the street. And He might say, well, I'm out there on the street. That's why I'm at. And who knows what if He says to give up all of your money because you're not using it right until you can use it right. Like we fear what God might say, but really we don't understand. A lot of people don't understand that when God says to do something, that it's for, I mean, He's going to take care of you. You're going to be fine. But we fear that we're just not going to have any.
But with God as our source, man, look, He told Elijah to go by the brook, right? That was His provision for him. But Elijah still had free will to be like, you know, well, I don't want to go by the brook. I don't want to get fed by the rain. But who's going to look out for Elijah? Everybody hated Elijah. So God said, if everybody hates you, I got to provide for you. But many of us, we don't really want to humble ourselves and do stuff like that. We still want the money. We still want the success. But true success is not in money. True success is not in this life. This is 70 plus years, only guaranteed, 70 to 100. We got eternity to live. That's why I live my life for eternity, because if I live my life focused on Him, then everything in life is just an addition to that plan. Like you said, man, nobody wants to settle for less. Because God asked us to do crazy things to see if we obey. But you don't even want to get on the beach.
I think we have to come to the point where we do things out of love. You know, I'm not sure if anybody here is in love with somebody at some point in their life, but he did things just out of like just a pure heart. Like he wanted to put a smile on that person's face. You know what I'm saying? We got to relate that to Christ too. We should actually come to him out of just a love for him. You know, and he would never make you give something up without giving you a greater love for something else. He's like our father, you know, like I just equated to my dad. My dad's my best friend. I can talk to him about anything. And I was asking him about some things in my life, you know, he was like, son, what do you want to do? That was a different spin, you know. And I believe that's how God is with us. He wants us to know, what do you want to do? We're his sons. He gave each and every one of us like a unique interest in something. And it's just there when you came to earth, it was just something there since your childhood. It's not that he wants to take that away. He actually wants to plug you into that so that you can become a light to the world by your works. Not by your words, but your works. And they say 90% of communication is nonverbal. So God is actually listening to what we're doing with our bodies. And he changed what good is faith without deeds. So we have to, I don't know, it's not like you see you, I don't know, I think sometimes we look at the negative perspective of it. We got to look at the positive perspective of it. We're bound by time. Sometimes you got to make us make a tough decision, but this is for us to come into alignment with what's about to happen in the future. You know, because sometimes we can be, oh God, I don't want to give this up. You know what I'm saying? I really like doing this, but God wants to make you give that up so He can actually have you in alignment with what's about to happen. And sometimes when we're praying for things, it's not that God doesn't want to give it to us. It's just that we're bound by time. It's already released. We just have to wait for the manifestation of time for it to come. You know, He wants to give us. He says, if the world knows how to give good gifts, how much more does your Heavenly Father? I might be misquoting it. He knows how to give good gifts too. And so we have to think about that. It's just that sometimes you gotta look for the season to unfold. Sometimes you just gotta keep walking out our love relationship. You know what I'm saying? Doing things out of just a pure heart, a genuine heart, not necessarily to get something, but to give everything, to be a servant to Christ, you know. Just like with a man, when you get married, you should be to the point where you're trying to serve your wife in every aspect, you know, like Christ served the church. And that's just to be the same relation to where we say we serve God, our Father. It's like, it's out of a wanting, it's out of like something that the desire that you want to do. And if you don't have the desire, God will give you that desire. It's just something that should be overflowing in your life instead of something that is a burden, like you don't want to wake up in the morning. And I say this just because I mean, God taught me, man. I was like, He would teach you some stuff, and you can't look at it and say, I think negative things come in our life only to direct you in a different path. You know, you can't look at it like, oh God, why me? Why is this happening? We gotta look at it like, okay, God, where are you trying to have my emphasis focused on? Where do you want which direction are you trying to tell me to go? Because just like any father, you don't want to see you shouldn't see, you want to see your son or daughter hurt. That's the same thing with him. It's just that we have to take a different perspective on how we look at life. And I'm saying that just because I gave up football. I played football at the University of Northern Iowa for a couple of years, and the voice of God gave to me was like, give it up, it's not what you're supposed to do. It was tough because, 20 years of my life was pretty much dedicated to football. When you give your life to something you love, like when it came to football, when it came to training, I actually like doing it. I love doing it. And that's that same correlation you should actually have with serving Christ. I like doing it. I love doing it. Not out of the other end of it. But that's it. I don't want to say that much.
Just to add to that, my gift is I pour into people I talk to. So, I'm like not being so ashamed that I can tell people what's taking on. But I feel like some people's fears, once they accept Christ, once they're walking with Him, to really go with the flow is kind of like your dad takes you to sunburn. You gotta go sit inside, rest out on the beach. And another aspect of it is just like you have that so heavy on your heart to just serve Him. But you also know how messed up the arm. You're afraid of messing it up. Messing up that opportunity, messing up that ministry, that person's point of view on God, because you don't want to be that person when that person, okay, A beats B. A rubs B the wrong way. B walks around running the opposite direction of the guy without A representing something. Eventually B meets C. C leads to Christ. And now part of B's story is talking about how A screwed him up, the one we got wrong back. And that happens to so many people. You hear their testimony. Well, I went to this one church. Well, I met this one person. And that's where, you really, I'm just going back, it's just like, sometimes I get scared to say anything at all because I'm afraid to say the wrong thing, but you don't say anything at all. So it's just about stepping out in faith and just letting the Holy Spirit work through your spiritual gifts and talents, letting God use you, because when you hesitate, that's when people get killed.
I was just going to say that in addition to what everybody else is saying, I think that one of the main characteristics of our enemy is he's a seducer. And a lot of times he will seduce us with lifestyles. He has a plan for this is surely as God has a plan for our life, the enemy has a plan for our life. And it looks glamorous, it looks fun, and I think that a lot of times that temptation is there, that planting of his plan is there, and it looks so good and it looks so pleasant, pleasurable, that goes along with something.
And it's so powerful because a lot of people ask me, I get this question more than anything, why did God allow this to happen? Why? I always tell them, with great love comes great choice. Love requires choice. If there was no temptation, if there was no alternative, then how can love be proven? And that's why God is saying, I have to allow negativity to happen. If there's no negativity, how will it bring positive? How can they balance out? And that's why God is saying, no matter what you go through in life, no matter how negative it is, I'm allowing this to happen. Like JT said, I'm putting you in a line. So that there was times in my life, man, I'm looking up to heaven like, God, why are you allowing me to go through this? Why are you allowing me to get sucked out of Oklahoma, living with my mom, going through this, and I had this plan, I had this way of ministry, way of life. But God was like, and now as I look back, I'm like, if I didn't go through that, I would not be in love with God's way.
And I think it comes with having an eternity mindset. Like, I don't believe this has been a season where I stopped looking at life as just a daily routine or just one day. But I started looking at life in the perspective of God, and He looks at my life being eternal and my position eternal. And so those little things that I took for granted, or those decisions that I had to make that didn't feel so comfortable, I realized that God had an eternal purpose for that and for me. And so when I began to take, because if you take any time and multiply times eternity, it's zero. Like, so at the time that we're living in is equivalent to zero time. So our time is so insignificant when you compare it to eternity. And when I got that concept, it just blew my mind. Because I'm like, how often do we worry about the things of today, or we miss opportunities, or we take for granted that we can do it tomorrow? God is saying, you know what? I have an eternity purpose for you. Even after we leave this world and we're robed and clothed in our new bodies, there's another work for us to do. And what we do here, just like you say all the time, what we do at this time, what we practice now is how we're going to live later. And the same thing is with our state that we're in, our human state that we're in. How we live this life now is going to shape how we live our life, when this is all gone. So I think it's just having an eternity mindset is very key to living life, finding the purpose and not missing opportunities.
When you think about eternity, it calls you to be humble. Because that's you. If you're so focused on this life, you get frustrated, you get tired, you get weary, and you're so focused on making it happen yourself, so you feel like you're the man. But when you think about eternity, you think about how gracious God has been to my life, you can't help but give Him glory for your life. You can't help but love Him. Because when I think about where I should have been, where I could have been, but now I'm like, God, my body works. I got an operating mind. I have air in my lungs. That's so much to be thankful for. If we keep focusing on what we don't have, we won't be precious or be content with what we do have. And the moment we forget what we do have, what we do have fades away. That's what it is.
They saw the enemy coming, that's why they started running. But you know me, can't let nobody talk me out of being free, man. I'm covered by that blood. I'm back on the block again. I'm in my socks cause I just put a knot in my Timbs and threw them up on a telephone while you're in the street. And love a memory of the old me. The death for the flesh, nothing less than a slow leak. I done got past trying to impress my homies. They don't even answer my texts like they don't know me. Pray they don't take it the wrong way, but hey, I got dough me. Ray so Latido. I gotta sing hymns to him who poured mercy upon me. While we were yet sinners, Christ died for we. Partly in the Epistle Romans 5:8b.